What was sexy 10 years ago but isn't now? When I was in high school there was one year where every girl at my school suddenly started wearing a feather in their hair. Did anyone else experience this, or was my high school weird? Concealer lips, orange foundation, and a heavy-handed black eyeliner look. What England must be decades behind. Tilla Tequila. Ah yes, that's how I learned about bisexuality. Now she is a literal Nazi, not the I don't like this person, so they are a Nazi, but in actual there are only two things in this world, for which I would gladly sacrifice my own life: the destruction of all Jews and preservation of the white race. Nazi. Yes, that is an actual Tilla Tequila quote. Someone in the thread said she had a head injury. Looking into it, it looks like she did have some brain injuries after odding. She's also a flat earther. Using the word sexy in marketing/digital teams to describe sleek interfaces or products. Why are half the things mentioned on here from the early 2000s when 10 years ago was 2010? Once you turn like 30, when you hear 10 years ago your brain goes to high school, even though that was much longer ago. The hair bump/poof for girls made popular by Jersey Shore. I always thought it looked trashy, but it seemed like everyone did it. That and too much bronzer. Lot of people in this thread finding out they're older than they think they are today. Fake tan. I think every time I go out, not so often, but anyways, I seem to see less and less orange ladies. Wearing fitted tap out and Hot Topic type clothes with all those skulls, flames and swords. This might just be a middle school thing, specifically that one chubby kid who hates his stepdad. You just described me in middle school perfectly. Skinny eyebrows. As long as they are not taking it too far into the extreme, with thick, overdrawn Groucho eyebrows. Beauty is cyclical. Thin eyebrows will be back eventually. It happens every 25 or so years. Girls in the 70s has thin brows. Clara Bow and other silent film stars 100 years ago had thin brows. But yeah, I agree that it looks weird at this point in time. 18-year-olds. I just like people my own age. It kinda sucks living in a college town, and having aged from there are sexy people everywhere to these stupid drunk kids need to learn to cross the road before they get killed. I swear college kids IQ drops 50 points the second they have to cross the road. Then they turn into galloping deer that choose the absolute worst time to cross. And it's always either a dead sprint or the hit me IDC walk too. Edit, you'll assume I mean at crosswalks. College kids don't use crosswalks. I understand an IDC hit me attitude when you're in the right, though. And it's always either a dead sprint or the hit me IDC walk too. To be fair, vacillating between panic and wanting to die is pretty much the college experience. Apple bottom jeans. The ones without any back pockets. Every NHS would wear these. I remember a time a little more than 15 years ago there were pocketless jeans that zipped up the back. So weird to think about those now. Edit, I guess it's 2004 again. Just realized I was about to list something from the 90s. How did I get so old? FML. Searching boobs on Google Images. Just posted this to nostalgia, but keyboard fonts. I remember being able to swipe my entire keyboard across my phone and typing away, making it look cool, like I was in the Matrix or something. Not anymore. 1 TB of data storage. But what about 1 TB of NVMe storage? TiVo. It was amazing that you could record 45 hours of HD content directly to a hard drive in your living room. Their stock price hit over $50 a share. Now streaming has replaced local storage and 45 hours of content seems laughably small. That's not even enough for one good show. And after being acquired in 2016, the combined company is worth less than $8 per share. My hairline. Damn, 10 years makes a difference. I feel ya man. I have a widow's peak now. despite never having one previously, because I'm receding on the sides, but not the center. It doesn't look terrible per se, it's just unsettling when you look in the mirror and it's not what you've seen for a quarter century. Yak now. I'm 26 and it's gotten so bad that I just shaved it off. It went from perfectly fine to okay, I look 40 within a 1.5 years. Now I'm just trying to get back to being comfortable with my appearance. I miss hair. Kevin Spacey. 10 years ago was when the Jersey Shore was big. I would say a ton of things from that, like the fashion, hair, GTL, and the fist pump. I remember seeing so much Ed Hardy around when that show was popular. Edit, pump, not bump. My bad. Low-rise jeans. And just when I came to really appreciate them, bam, women all jumped to high-waisted jeans out of nowhere. I feel like women's casual wear in general is always sexier than it was 10 years ago, and it's starting to make me feel old. I imagine when I'm old I'm going to comment on some lady's outfit being really revealing, and my grandkids are going to roll their eyes and say something like, "You're so old-fashioned, grandpa, her asshole isn't even open." Just imagine how you'll be about technology. Come on, grandpa. Just upload a copy of your consciousness onto True VR so we can hang out in the virtual world. No. What if the people from 4chan get a hold of my brain and start sharing my memories? That's not how it works, Zoomer. Your memories aren't even uploaded in the scan. I don't wanna. Okay, this might be a little more than 10 years ago, but women's thongs riding up. I remember in middle school I used to watch those, but like the playoffs. Edit, thank you kind stranger for the Reddit gold. 10 years ago is not 2000, it's 2010 y'all. A sleeveless dress that cuts straight across the boobs and then straight across the knees, paired with black tights, potentially a chunky belt and a short cardigan with really tight arms. Those extremely low-rise jeans that dads would ask their daughters, "Why are you wearing this? That's too low for school." And the daughters say, "But it's teehee Saint Hill." Remember? When the skirts were low-rise and mini. Basically a 4-inch belt. Plucking your eyebrows thinner than a badger's nadger. Now it's gotta be full on two slugs fighting for dominance. Totally stealing thinner than a badger's nadger. With a saying in Scotland when we are hungover, which is a lot, of rougher than a badger's tadger. Tadger meaning penis in the local vernacular. Snapping your azza shut after a particularly harrowing call. 10 years ago it was all about BlackBerry. 10 years ago it was all about the iPhone. Tramp stamps. Now that they've had 10 years to age, they're not so sexy. I think that today's equivalent is the underboob chandelier. Lindsay Lohan. I think you've got to go back a bit more than 10 years for that one. Way too many people liked, accepted, and or used negging back then. I'm glad that has become less common now. 4GB of RAM. 10 years ago, if your girl said, "Does my butt luck begin this?" you said no. To me, personally, artsy boys in skinny jeans who are deeply tormented souls who the rest of the world just doesn't understand. No lie, I once, unironically, swooned when a boy, unironically, used the line, "I just have to keep creating or I'll die." Now I just want a regular guy or girl who wants to laugh while fucking and go out to get a burrito afterwards. Not before. Never before. Performative sexiness is way less sexy than an effortless connection. I'm happy to leave the artsy boys to the next generation. Wearing Hollister/Abercrombie and Fitch apparel with the brand plastered across the whole shirt. It used to be sexy/cool, but now I don't see anyone caught dead in it. Granted, I'm not a teen and don't hang around teens anymore. A few years ago I wore my old Hollister shirt, laundry day, and as I was stepping on board a train a man walking past me took one look at the shirt and openly scoffed at me. Still makes me laugh thinking about it. I wanted to run after him and yell laundry day. 18-year-olds. Apparently, me not getting any messages back now that I've turned 40 might as well be Methuselah. Me to my uncle. Happy 15th birthday. Modeling your style and affected dreamy aloofness after quirky girls like Ramona Flowers in Summer from 500 Days. The Karen haircut? That haircut was actually popularized by Victoria Beckham in the early 2000s. It became the edgy fashionista haircut. By the late 2000s it started becoming more mainstream and Kate Gosselin had it. From there it stopped being cool and edgy and became synonymous with middle-aged moms. Yes, the I Want to Speak to the Manager specifically made popular by Kate Gosselin of John and Kate Plus 8. How fast you could run. Kindergarten was so weird. That brings back memories of a few girls fawning over the fastest guy, while the rest of us weren't sure why that was important. Thanks for the memories. I was an awkward weird kid that never participated in the races. Then one day I did, and it turned out I was the fastest kid in the grade. Little 10-year-old me couldn't figure out why I wasn't one of the cool kids all of a sudden, since they always lavished praise and adoration on the other fastest kids for how fast they were. Suddenly no one cared about who was fastest anymore, and found other reasons to create a divide between us and them. I learned a very valuable lesson about the nature of the world that day. Facebook. It was cool, exclusive, and exciting. Now it's full of adverts, data scalping and your grandparents. My Facebook feed informed me yesterday that it was my 11th friendiversary with my stepmother. It had definitely lost its exclusivity element by 10 years ago. Amanda Bynes. Lindsay Lohan still pops in and out of pop culture relevance with her ridiculous Instagram stories and odd appearances, but Amanda Bynes is kinda nowhere to be found. Whale tails. Low-rise jeans were closer to 20 years ago, people. You're thinking of juicy for decade-old ass coverage, the precursor to the modern S3xy renaissance. Google Plus. 10 years ago I was 9. The only thing that was sexy for me was when I had €5 to spend at the candy shop. A Harvey Weinstein job opportunity? As a gay guy I have something very specific. Puka shells. Every gay guy I went to high school with had puka shells, frosted tips, Hollister jeans and brown sandals. I remember thinking how stylish they were at the time, but now I know better. Almost everything stated in this thread is from the late 90s/early 2000s. If anyone could stop time though, it would be Reddit. My soon-to-be ex-wife. That one popular high school girl that put on 100 pounds. Watch it, pal, that's my wife you're talking about. Having no eyebrows. How was that considered being sexy 10 years ago? Throwaway time for the controversial. Incest porn. Hear me out. The reason incest porn grew in popularity, and I associate this primarily with literotica.com, but it is a wider phenomenon. But the reason for the popularity was not people having an incest fetish. It's the truism on Literotica, at least, that the draw of incest porn for the most part was that it was the only kind of erotica that compelled the author to lay out a backstory, to build tension slowly, to cultivate a plausible circumstance where the tension reaches a breaking point, and then bang. So like, let's say the reader wants to read a BDSM themed story about an athlete/personal trainer relationship. If you search the BDSM category for athlete personal trainer, you open up a story at random, it'll probably start. So I'm at my personal trainer and she's got me tied to the massage table and I'm begging her to lick my bobs. Total bullshit. So then you search the incest/taboo category for keywords BDSM athlete personal trainer and open one of the results, and it'll be like, I used to hate how my sister acted toward me, with a mixture of disdain and sympathy. But ever since I got distracted on the balance beam and broke my ankle, I feel like I deserve it. Bang. Chances are much better that this story is well written. humane, slow build, well, sexy. So for most people, it was never about the incest. But thing was, this was kind of exclusive to erotic lit, with a subcategory for a small number of movies. And now, there is a ton of perfunctory step incest porn online, videos, which are totally lacking in tension, and are stupid and attempt to normalize incest in the grossest and most socially deleterious way you could imagine. Even on Literotica, you see more and more stories that begin. So I'm at my stepdad's, and he's got me tied to the massage table, and I'm begging him to lick my bobs. It sucks. Kardashian. Kim Kardashian sex tape. Everything to do with them. I personally never found her attractive. I think the documentary of her adventure with the wizard and the rest of the fellowship is what really helped her popularity. Bitch, how you not the Hobbit again? That was r/AskReddit by the Reading Penguin. Like, subscribe and share with your friends for daily Reddit videos.